panned out. In the shade here, hitting before the shade door, works awesome. And if I was in the light there,
I love how we need to push stuff really hard and the moment after to get
You may have to walk over there. You may not bother coming over to the bell.
I think they're
I think we're getting it in. We'll go over and take a look. much over there, do you?
Yeah, it was just the other day. Yeah. I've been here for, I guess, the majority of it. Yeah. Maybe 60%. Some maybe one this is so what's happening? Nothing so far?
Nothing so far.
Yeah, because this was opening at 2:30. It's going to be over here?
I assume. Well, it could be, but nobody seems to think so.
I mean, it's 5 minutes to 3 right now.
Well, there's plenty of time to run over there, really, plenty of space.
Yeah. Radio this morning, in-state was nominated one of the top 3 party schools. Really? Even back then?
Yes.
I didn't know this is more recently.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I told you about a week or two ago.
Okay.
And it was in the paper.
University of Colorado, West Virginia, one of the West Virginia universities in Morgan. Yes. I've never been to Morgan. I've only been to State College and my dad went there. I'm glad he wasn't still around. He was here all this tournament. Yeah, I think I'm very punish the students for what the people on the staff will do.
Did you have to have our guns? So you can't even vote?
Yeah, and then that's always old records, there's the up somewhere. Took away records of people that played in the house.
Way over there. I don't know what any school is going to do.
I was talking to the stockbroker in Philadelphia yesterday. Since I got back from the last trip. He said, well, they're not only going to football, they were coming to the rest of the program because the football was supporting the rest of the group. So all the other sports. My youngest
I say you're both 27. I thought you were both on 28. That's what I figured. We're trying to make bets. We're trying to see. We're looking around. Intelligent looking.
Was that right? He ran for governor and lost.
Romney get together? Or is this also going to be Obama? What is the story?
Obama's college down the street.
Oh, okay. What time? Any idea?
Same time.
Oh, the same time. They're kind of. They're on Nevada, right? No, I think it's just his bus, right?
His bus and Bobby Jindal, the governor.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
I live in Colorado, so it's not very Dan, we'll just walk around over here. I'm like, not hurting. You just like myself. Ladies.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Chad. Obama.
Good, how you doing, sir? What? What? Oh, okay.
Hey, I heard Mitt Romney has dyslexia, and his first name's actually Tim.
We've been at some small businesses already this morning, spent some day yesterday at some businesses around the state. You know, we're just uniform here in the state. It's a great deal. More, a little louder. Is that better back there now? All right. All right. I'll pick it up just a little. That's usually not my problem. We have been hearing the same message. The economy is stuck in the mud. Maybe worse than that, we're sliding backwards. The numbers tell the story. This isn't just public opinion or political opinion. It's fact, and it's coming right out of his own labor department. The story's not very good. You know, 4 years ago in Denver, he laid out a whole bunch of promises. He said he was the guy that knew how to fix this. Enough Americans trusted him, wanted to believe in him, wanted to take him up on his bet, and gave him the job of fixing this economy. But well, I'm doing about all I can do. I'm sorry. The tragic story right now is that regardless of whether you were with him or whether you were against him, it hasn't worked. It simply hasn't worked. And now today I understand that earlier down in Pueblo, he was making the case for doing more government intervention. He actually suggested that the government ought to take over every industry and start figuring out how to run it, throw billions and billions at it. Haven't we seen enough already? I thought the folks in Colorado Springs understood exactly the way things were. God bless you. Well, we've got a candidate in Mitt Romney who has done something other than be a community organizer in Chicago. Mitt Romney's actually been in the private sector. He's created jobs. He's run businesses. He's run a state government. He's run an Olympics. And every single time, you know what was especially notable about Mitt Romney's career? Everywhere he went, his job was to turn around problems, to fix messes. And every single place he went, he did just exactly that. 2 out of 3 Americans today, 2 out of 3, believe that we need to change direction. They think America's on the wrong track. We need to turn this train around. Why not try to give the job to somebody who's got the experience? That's exactly what Mitt Romney has done, and done very well his entire life. Let's give experience a chance. We got some great people here. I'm going to introduce a couple of real stars to you in just a moment. But first of all, I want to recognize a few folks here in Colorado Springs of special note. You got a couple of House candidates. In fact, I think we might be in House District 18. Is that right? Jennifer George. Absolute rock star. You got to get Jennifer George elected to the state legislature. Where's Dan? Dan Norbert. Dan Nordberg is up. Dan told me earlier that he's already scared off the competition, so I guess we ought to start calling him Representative Norbert. I think from your city council, Angela Duggan's here. Where's Angela? Right in front, right behind you. Hello, Angela. Thanks for all you do for the city of Colorado Springs on a great state. Bob Ballick, your treasurer. God bless him. God bless him. And I see my friend, former mayor, Lionel Rivera, standing right here in front of us. You know, one of the things I admire so much, I'm guessing you too, about Mitt Romney, is that real world experience. One of the many, many things to be admired. Some people say, well, yeah, he's a son of George Romney, he's bound to be successful. You know that everything he inherited, he and Ann donated to charity? Right. This is a self-made man. He actually built it himself. He knows how to do this. He knows how to do this. This is a great American success story. We ought to be celebrating that. And the fact that Mitt Romney is willing to step forward, he and Ann, probably the last 2 people on the planet that really need this job, but they're doing this job because they understand the American dream, they understand the importance of this election, they believe in this country, they want to save this republic, and they want to do all they can to be part of it. That's why Mitt Romney's running for president. So Mitt's been in the trenches. That's the one thing, the first thing that I really admired about him, that real world experience. Been there, done that, kind of gets it. Well, Jason Chaffetz is a relatively new but a very significant member of Congress already. Comes from our neighboring state of Utah. Among many other things, Jason has started his own business, ran his business, signed both sides of the paycheck, as we say. He gets it too. He's now taking that practical experience to Congress and applying it for solutions for America. Among the other things that he might be noted for, if you check the record book from Brigham Young University, his alma mater, Jason Chaffetz is a football star. He is. His name is still in the record books at BYU. I'll let him tell you a little bit more about that in a minute. But he's a young man of significant note already. Jason Chaffetz has also been another important player on the committee that he got assigned to, the Government Reform and Oversight Committee. These are the guys, along with Darrell Issa, that are digging into Fast and Furious. Does anybody out there really believe that 18 months after Agent Brian Terry was murdered, that Barack Obama and Eric Holder don't know who's responsible for this?
No!
Why aren't they telling us?
Because they're scared!
Yeah.
They're scared!
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got an important election in front of us. I want you to hear from both Governor Jindal and from Jason Chaffetz about why it's so important, why what you're doing is so important, why Colorado is so important in this election. Please put your hands together, give a great Colorado, El Paso County, Colorado Springs welcome to Jason Chaffetz.
Glad to be back here. I actually graduated high school in Granby. I was a Middle Park Panther way back in the day. I lived in Winter Park, and I love this state. My brother, he lived in Castle Rock for a while. Now he lives over in Grand Junction, so it's good to be among friends. And I need to clarify the record here. Let's go this way. I got to clarify the record here. I was not a football player. I was a place kicker. There's a huge difference, you know. You touch the place kicker, boy, they throw a flag, you know. That's a spot for me. You know, it's interesting. You live your life and you work hard, and you just sometimes you never know how you're going to come together. And how do I find myself in this spot at this time? It's just amazing. I think, like you, we want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem in this country. And we have a fundamental choice that's facing this nation. The choice is between Barack Obama, who envisions an entitlement society, who believes in big government, that government can solve its problems. Or you can do what Mitt Romney suggests, and that is believe in free enterprise, believe in liberty, and believe in America. You look at what's on these signs right here. It's about believing in America. Just a couple hours ago, Barack Obama said that he wanted government to get involved in every industry. Mr. President, the government will not grow this economy. The government will not solve all our problems. The American people will solve the problems. The American people will solve the problems. What the president fails to understand is that government is not the solution. Oftentimes, government is the problem.
Yeah!
There is a proper role of government, but it's a limited role. I believe, Mitt Romney believes, fiscal discipline, limited government, accountability, and a strong national defense. The only thing that I hear this president wanting to cut is the Department of Defense. That has got to change. You in Colorado Springs, we understand that the Air Force, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, the Coast Guard, this is what's going to protect our nation. And yet it's the one thing that this president doesn't want to invest in. You got to understand the numbers here. Now, let me give you a little background. You got to understand what a trillion is, okay, with a capital T. It's hard to get your arms around what a trillion is. But if you spent $1 million a day, every day, that's a lot of money, right? $1 million a day. If you spent $1 million a day every day, it would take you almost 3,000 years to get to 1 trillion. Now, I have been in Congress just a short amount of time. I was sworn in at the same time that Barack Obama was sworn in. Well, let me tell you how big this problem is. When we started, the deficit, or the debt, was approaching $9 trillion. At the end of this year, it will be $16 trillion. We pay more than $600 million a day in interest on our national debt. We deficit spend as a nation $4 billion a day, and the president wants more. I think the president has given up his opportunity to lead. You know, he's running these commercials right now that really bother me. You watch the Olympics and you'll see the president look right into the camera, right at your eyes, and he will tell you that what he wants to do is he wants to tax more so that we can pay down the debt. Now, to hear the government say it, to hear the president say it, to hear the Democrats say it, we're just one good tax increase away from prosperity in this nation. That's not true. That is not going to solve our problem. In fact, you need to know that the president has introduced 4 budgets since he's been the president. Never once has any one of those budgets ever been in balance. You know, the president and the Democrats talk a lot about a balanced approach. Well, Mr. President, if you believe in that, then present a balanced budget. Support a balanced budget amendment. When you put together a budget, it's over 10 years and then has projections out over 75 years. Last year, the president presented his budget to the United States Congress. It was defeated in the Senate 97-0. Last year, this year I should say, the president's budget was presented in the United States Senate, was defeated 99-0. It was presented in the House of Representatives. It was defeated 414-0. Not even Nancy Pelosi would support the president's budget. So how can the president look you in the eye, run a commercial saying, I want to pay down the debt, when his own budget never even balances? The Democrats don't even support it.
Under Obama's leadership.
Another quick stat, then I want to introduce Governor. Since Barack Obama took office until now, there are 133,000 additional federal workers on the federal payroll. That's the net increase of the number of federal workers. This is not census postal or these types of workers. No, these are bureaucrats who do what? They wake up every morning and do what? They regulate things. I have yet to meet a person who has come up to me and said, oh, you know what, now that the EPA has these thousands of more employees, things are really rock and rolling, you know? Thank goodness the Department of Transportation has all these people on board now. Did you know there are 450,000, more than 450,000 federal employees who earn in excess of $100,000 a year as their base pay? That does not include their compensation, benefits program, any of that. It's core to what President Obama believes. President Obama believes the government's solution. I believe, Mitt Romney believes, the government has a limited role. That we believe in America, we believe in entrepreneurs. And the way we're going to grow jobs in this economy is through entrepreneurs and getting back that American spirit. Yeah. The American dream was not built on cash for clunkers. The American dream was not built on some big government paving the way for people. It was people with opportunity and liberty who made the most of it, who fulfilled their dreams, they created that business, and that's what the fulfillment of the American dream will be. Now, somebody who also represents the American dream to me, it's a great inspiration to our party, is one of the great leaders in his state, but also for the nation. Somebody who's inspirational to all of us. Just honored and thrilled to be with him here today. Please help me welcome Governor Jindal.
Jason and Bob did such a great job. Let's give a great round of applause for both these leaders. Look, our president, let's be honest, he is a good family man, a good husband, a good father. The only 2 problems I've got with this president. Number 1, he is the most liberal president since Jimmy Carter was in the White House. My second problem with him, he's been the most incompetent president since Jimmy Carter. And no disrespect to Jimmy Carter by saying that, by the way. Let's start with incompetent. This president made some promises to us. He has broken those promises. One promise I'd like him to keep. Remember he said if we don't get this economy turned around in 3 years, it'll be a one-term proposition. Look at the promises he has broken. He said give him $800 billion for his stimulus bill. He'd keep unemployment below 8%. Unemployment has been above 8% for 42 months and counting. You look at median family income in this country, down over $4,000 since President Obama took office. You look at median household worth, 2-decade low since he took office here in Colorado. Median family income down nearly $3,000 since he took office. Nearly 22,000 fewer people with jobs since he took office. The statistics go on and on and on. 23 million underemployed, unemployed Americans. If you've got a student, You've got a child in school, there's nearly a 50% chance they're going to be underemployed or unemployed if they graduate this year. And here's the sad thing. Here's the sad thing. You listen to all those statistics, clearly his policies have failed. And yet all he knows to do is to borrow more money from the Chinese, raise more taxes, spend more money. We can't afford the government we've got. What does he do? He creates yet another entitlement program costing nearly $1.7 trillion. Now, Jason talked a lot about the deficit and the debt. We now, this president made a commitment. He said he was going to cut the deficit, he was going to cut that annual borrowing in half by the end of his first term. Instead, he has borrowed more than $1 trillion every year since he's been in office, setting and breaking nearly every record. Now, $1 trillion, there's a lot of ways to think about this. I'll just give you two quick anecdotes. Several weeks ago, the president was telling the Europeans, you've got to get your economy growing again. He was worried about the impact on our economy and his re-election. Well, the German foreign minister said something interesting. He said to the president, why don't you get your own house in order? Because here's an embarrassing number. For as bad as things are in Europe, their debt equals 80% of their GDP in the Eurozone countries. In America, our federal debt today equals 100% of our GDP. Wow. You know things are bad when the Europeans are telling us you are spending and borrowing too much. You know, it's kind of like when the town drunk tells you you've got a drinking problem. It may be time to stop drinking. When the Europeans saying you're spending too much, it may be time to stop spending. Yes. And yet this president created a new entitlement program in Obamacare. Look at the promises he broke there. He said if you like your doctor, you like your health plan, you can keep it. Now the government is saying over 20 million Americans may lose their employer-provided health care coverage. He said he was going to bend the cost curve down. Now the government is saying healthcare is going to cost more, the healthcare spending is going to grow more in 2014 than if we hadn't passed this bill. He said he was going to protect Medicare. Now the government is saying he cut Medicare over $500 billion in cuts that are not sustainable, not realistic. He said he wasn't going to raise our taxes. The government is saying he raised our taxes over $500 billion. And after all this, you're still going to have nearly 30 million individuals without health insurance in America, all for an entitlement program we can't afford, on top of ones we can't afford today. And that really brings me to my second point. Not only has he been the most incompetent president, he has been the most liberal president we have seen since Jimmy Carter. You think about what's at stake in this election. Every several years, somebody gets up and says, this is the most important election of our lifetimes. It is really true this time. It is. You think about it, there are two different worldviews competing for your votes this election season. President Obama has what I describe as kind of that, it's that Occupy Wall Street worldview. And you can see that worldview every so often. He reveals what he really believes. Today he talked about more bailouts if he gets reelected. A couple of weeks ago, you remember he went to Virginia and said, if you've got a small business, you didn't build that. And every time he does that, his aides have to come out and say, the president didn't really mean that. Well, a few weeks ago, before that, he said the private sector is doing fine, it's the public sector we have to worry about. Last year, 2011, 3 different speeches. He said maybe America is lazy, maybe America has gone soft, maybe we've lost our ambition. My message to the president is the American people aren't lazy, we're not soft, we haven't lost our ambition. We simply
the president who's lazy!
Now, President Obama spends a lot of time demonizing those in the private sector that have been successful trying to raise taxes on small business owners. I don't know about you, but the American dream doesn't say you're entitled to your neighbor's property or your neighbor's income. You're not promised equal outcomes in this country. You're promised equal opportunity in this country. You know what's great about the American dream? The circumstances of your birth, your race, your gender, your income, your geography, your zip code, they don't determine how well you do as an adult in this great country. If the American dream is you can do better than your parents did if you're willing to work hard and get a great education. That's what's at stake in this election. Governor Romney understands we grow the private sector economy, not the public sector economy. He understands we don't raise taxes on small business owners. You know, every generation of Americans has left more opportunities for our children than we inherited from our parents. We don't want to become the first generation that mortgages our children's future with all this borrowing and spending so they've got fewer opportunities. That's what this election is about. It's about preserving the American dream for our children and grandchildren. My little girl brought a great button home from school the other day. It said, "Don't anybody tell the president what comes after $1 trillion." We cannot afford another 4 more years of this president's policies. He has done the best he can do. It's just not good enough for America. I want to thank you for coming out. I want to close by telling you 2 things, though. Number 1, this is an important election. You've got to tell your neighbors, your family, your friends, your colleagues, we have got to vote. We've got to stand up for our children and grandchildren. I want to thank you for coming out. God bless you. God bless Colorado. God bless America.
While you're shaking Governor Jindal's hand, I want to point out that at 4:45 over at the El Paso County Victory Office, we're going to make one more stop. Same grill, same great cast. So please come support us over there as well. 4:45 at the El Paso County Victory Office.
Freedom from exchange for government entitlement. He was telling one guy. He was telling
That's a good idea. So it's effort. You also go short little readers.
Oh, yeah. Family from Lincoln. Okay.
First paper protects all
Only one person. You need to talk like this. Let's fight for you in the eye. Oh, hey! Now we can see it.
I love your shoes.
Can I get a picture with my sign? Can you guys, can someone shoot this in there? Just put picture. I like it. I believe in you. Just shoot it. Oh, I love you. I do. Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you very
Like your shirt, man. Thank you. Thank you.
Something like that.
Here we go. It's too big. We're too close. Got it.
Blog or something? What's the name of the blog? What's the name of the blog? I write for the Examiner. I've got a YouTube channel as well. Thank you. No problem. Gaggle up there if anyone.
Great to be with you.
Thank you so much.
I want to show you.
Did you ever take this off?
Yeah, so see, can I call my buddy from
One of my heroes, sir. I like the birds and I was wondering if you're with him. Mine is the other guy my sign here.
Thailand is considered
Appreciate Vice President.
agree with that
I went to school. My daughter went to school last year. We're going to go Tigers.
She's on the so whenever they play, I can get on both sides.
Shooting, yes. Yes. I think that you went to, yeah, I was there. Oh, thank you.
I was just like, I used to be on the program. So you said president, but after Katrina, oh, I know. I wanted my daughter to take her out to media.
Examiner my cards in the bag. Lionel Rivera, yeah, that sounds very local.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think Ellis is doing just so Sports Illustrated, you know, they're in Colorado with the most we can turn out 70. Now that may not be good. We've got to work hard.
Oh, and then you got Ellis
Former mayor, you just call me mayor. That's right.
And I hope you're coming to our alumni meeting.
Georgia. All these fucking graphics up there. Well, it's been a while, yeah. I'm going to try.
Cindy, I think they got to talk to real people.
Thank you, Governor. Good luck on your trip.
Now I know who you live with. Well, I went to Tulane. We gotta get our What exit? No, I know who you. There's a guy here that used to be his son.
It's a good thing?
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a Southwest pilot.
Pardon me? Did you? You want to do a picture?
How do you just snap something? Just hold it. We didn't go. It's recording. You're just gonna get a recording and snap it. Okay. It'll. I'm not gonna ask any questions. No. I'm just gonna get the video. Make sure that.
Oh, you did? You did?
I think you're lost.
Where at? What was that?
I'll let you hold on to this before I break it.
Oh, really? Oh, Seattle?
That's all right. We got your little nose. It wasn't like it was
Thank you. Just gonna this video so you can snap a picture with it.
Just want to thank you for all you've done for Louisiana. My cousins in Lake Charles will see this. They'll spot the shrimp right out of their mouth.
Thank you for coming out today. Thank you very much.
St. Sandra, nice to meet you.
Didn't come with big girls.
That's the hard way. Where's that guy go?